Welcome back, Questers. Today we have one of my favorite unsigned underground artists, straight out of Toronto, Canada. Born in Ghana, residing out of Toronto, Canada. Amazing catalog. He's been on here many times before. He was featured on my Final Ingredient EP. Love his music. Now he's doing some acting. And we'll be talking about commercial he did with Drew Barrymore and his depiction of Big Daddy Gary Goodrich. He was one of the first superstars of the Ultimate Fighting, back when they first started the UFC back in the day, and still has one of the probably one of the most vicious knockouts I've ever seen. My guy got to depict him in a short film. So we'll be talking with my man Griff Galexxzee. Y'all know him. And man, excellent catalog, doing his thing, music, and now going into acting, and I just can't be more proud of him. So we're gonna be talking about that. So kick back, relax. I'm Real Washington. This is The Quest. We got you locked in with Griff Galexxzee.
You're not used to me being alone, harassing me, calling my phone. Hey lady, find your own, instead of trying to wreck a home. She's smooth, she's fine, that I know, all over me like a dog on a bone. You crazy, think I will go, so just please leave me alone. Floating away through all the pain, floating away, what can I say? I'm floating away through all the pain. I'm floating away through all the pain, floating away, what can I say? I'm floating away through all the pain. I'm floating away. I'm not saying it is your fault. Too many broken hearts involved. Your secrets locked in the vault. You want any man that has a pulse. You have some nerve, even the balls. A single Mary doesn't matter at all. I say, forget these bitches, forget these hoes. All I wanna do is float, floating away through all the pain, floating away, what can I say? I'm floating away through all the pain. I'm floating away through all the pain, floating away, what can I say? I'm floating away through all the pain. I'm floating away. Through all the pain, I'm floating away.
Welcome This is Quest Nation, based out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I am Roy Washington, and this is my home. Home of Giannis. We spotlight independent music, movies, current events, paranormal, spirituality, and cryptozoology, among other topics. It is my quest to seek and uncover the diamonds that we have in our communities, future and current leaders and heroes. This is the quest, and we got you locked in. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, Roy?
What's up?
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, it's good to see you, man. How's things?
Everything's good, man. You look like you're walking.
Yeah. I was out for a little bit, and the weather is actually beautiful in Toronto, so I thought I'd just find a quiet spot where we can just catch up. And back in my place, it's a little bit noisy over there, so just been trying to find a spot where it seems like a lot of people are out today, actually. My bench I usually sit at just to kind of meditate. It seems to be
Yeah,
occupied today. So yeah, I'm just seeing if there's another bench here and I could just sit down and we can catch up. But how you been?
man. Everything's been all right, man. Slowly starting to get back to the music. Um,
Beautiful.
yeah. Are they protesting over there in Toronto?
Surprisingly, just with the banks, because I think and government workers are protesting just because they're not happy with the wages. But it's kind of interesting that their protests here in Canada are about different issues, right? Not like the real issues that are going on in the world. It's more like a lot of local um, companies are, cutting down their employees, and then they're not happy with the wages. So I've seen a lot of protests like that going on, but nothing like what's going on in the U.S., like L.A. with ICE and all that stuff. It's like wow, right? Those are
Yeah,
like the real issues, right? Unlike
yeah,
the small things we go deal with over here.
it's crazy, man.
Yeah, and even we did actually have a protest a couple of months ago, just in regards to Africa, like trying to keep African resources. Because what's been going on for years, other countries exploit all the resources that Africa has, like gold, cocoa, things like that. And Africa's so rich in resources, but we're so poor. So it's like these other countries come in and take our gold, resell it, and we're left with nothing. So there's a guy named, you know, Torre. He's Burkina Faso's president, and he's the one who's kind of made that movement of like Africa's rich. Let's keep everything in house. Let's keep businesses in house, and not
Hmm.
just sell gold to foreigners to exploit us and take advantage. Right. So I'm
Right.
really a part. I'm really because I'm from Ghana. That's my roots. I'm really excited about that movement because it's empowering the African community, empowering the Caribbean countries to do the same thing as well, right? So it's a beautiful thing to witness. It's Abraham Torre. Sorry, I was drawing the blank, but yeah, Abraham Torre. He's the Burkina Faso president. So he's the one who started this movement. He's a young guy too. He's I think in his late 30s, and he's really challenging all the leaders to do the same mindset of just keep Africa rich. Let's not give away our resources because it's very corrupt, right? And yeah, it's been a lot of that going on. So yeah, it's been interesting time to be alive. There's just so many different things happening in the world right now.
Yeah, I was just talking to one of my people, man. We just had to do the show, man, and That's why I had to move this back to 4:30.
Oh, no
And we were talking
worries.
about this one police chief. I don't know if he's in Nashville or somewhere. Made news talking about with the protests coming up today. If you block any traffic, if you do this, if you do that, we're gonna have to tell your family where your body is. Like he's like the mild threats, and it's like,
Wow.
man, we're getting to a point, man, that don't nobody care if you're a chief or not. But you come for people saying you come for our people, our guns, our family, our kids, or whatever. We'll lay you down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, he kind of he was a little tough guy on the little thing I seen. You know what I'm saying? But everybody was clowning him on that, man. Ain't nobody paying him any attention, man. You know what I'm saying? We're all grown. You know?
Exactly. You're all
Yeah.
grown. That's exactly it, right? It's crazy what social media has done. It's made
You're right.
people just say things they never would say in public or to somebody's face.
Yeah.
It's giving them that freedom to hide behind a keyboard and say
Yeah.
certain things they want. And I see a lot of bullying and shaming on social media as well too. It's just giving a platform for people to take out all their frustrations and insecurities on other people they see. Right? It's very common.
Yeah, man. And I know somebody come up in here, man, on something, man. I got something for him. You know. Yeah, I got something for him. It's not gonna be sweet. But
It
yeah,
won't
he
be
was
pretty.
no, 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 not at all, man. But yeah, he was a little tough guy on the thing, man. You got people being separated from their families, man. Down, especially out there in California, man. And I seen a podcast where a young lady was her parents was taken back, but I guess since she was born here, she was good.
Uh,
But she missing her parents. They took her parents away, And
wow.
then the guy running the podcast really didn't seem kind of blunt with her, though. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I understand both sides
Mm.
because I know that the 9/11 guys they came here and went to school and learned all that stuff that they did to do the damage that they did on September 11th. So I agree. You got to be careful who comes in. But some of these people who's been here probably like all their lives and have built, have families and stuff like that. I feel for them too, man.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just crazy just to see what's happening in front of our own eyes, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a different world we're living in. It seems like I don't want to say it, but it feels like very demonic world we're living in these days. Like I'm even seeing bad behavior getting praised. Like I don't know if you've seen a couple of videos. Like I think one lady I can't remember not too long ago used the N word towards a child, like a baby,
Wow.
and for some reason she went viral, right? And there's some people who are praising her for. Of course, there are a lot of angry people, especially in the black community, and just angry people in general. Be like, how can you say that to a child, saying that the child looks like a monkey, or just some kind of racial slurs, right? And other people are like, good for her, they're speaking her mind, and other people supporting it. And I'm like, why is bad behavior getting rewarded? And the song, it reminds you, the song with Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us, right?
Yeah.
Uh, that song did numbers and is basically calling a man a pedophile and tearing somebody down. And it's a hit. It became a hit song.
Yeah.
And, it's got me thinking in general, like a lot of negativity is being praised and it's going viral. And I don't get it, right? It's not the way I grew up. I always grew up with good values because my mother was a Christian, and and I've always taught to do good, be good. But now it's the opposite. It's like the people who are bad are getting praised and getting viral, right? So I'm still trying to figure all that out.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a different time, man. It's a lot of darkness, man. I don't know if you've seen the podcast I did called Chaos Post uh, 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. I ran into a demonically possessed woman.
Mm.
So you must didn't see that one.
I might have. It does sound familiar. I might have to watch it again. I think I might have seen like a preview.
Yeah, I got the audio. The audio to that is just chilling. The way this woman was like an animal, screaming and yelling and banging.
Wow,
She was like a wild animal, man. It was crazy.
that's scary.
They,
That's
you know,
scary.
3 a.m. supposed to be the witching hour,
Yes, that is
and
the
this was
devil's hour between
yeah, and
three
this
and
was like
four,
two
right?
forty something.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's any and everything going on right now, man. A lot of crazy stuff going on. I heard there's a. I was looking at a video where there's a church that worship Beyonce, and then there's some demonic churches that's raising up now that worship Satan. There's all kind of stuff going on, man. So you got to really be rooted and grounded, like you said. You was brought up the right way. You got to really be rooted and grounded in that, man. Nowadays, man, or you're gonna fall for any little thing, you know.
That's exactly it, man. And it's so crazy to me. Sorry, just sitting down in the sun here, get a
No,
little
that's
bit
good.
more sunshine. But it's so crazy to me that all these things that we're experiencing is just like what you said, very demonic, and you have to be well rooted. And I don't even know when all this started. I just started noticing it a lot more, like just from the Olympics, how they're kind of making a mockery of that photo, that the Last Supper, and you know
Yeah,
I noticed that, and just people who are nasty to each other going viral. And
yeah,
like, why it's almost like people are drawn to negativity. I think that's what it is, because there's so many good things going on in the world and that we don't know about, that's not going viral. It's just kind of kept on the wraps, right? And it's
hmm,
just mind-boggling. And I know as a musician, you probably could relate to this as well. As a musician, you hear certain songs that are just for clowning a man or just tearing somebody down, getting all these millions of views and becoming a hit song. It boggles my mind. I'm like, why are we rewarding bad behavior? Right? It's been frustrating as somebody who believes in uplifting kind of music and positivity and music with a message. It's kind of very discouraging, but it hasn't stopped me from still putting music out there.
yeah. You put out some good music, man. Great music. I look forward to doing some more collabs with you. Um,
Yes,
I spend a lot of
absolutely.
time with my niece, and when I'm in the car with my niece, the stuff that she's listening to, I'm just like, wow. It's no, don't take no talent at all. Just get on the microphone and just talk about our fu here, our do this there, and sets and all that. That you don't need no talent. You don't need no bars or nothing. Just talk sets talk. Some of the stuff that she listened to, and she look at me and start laughing because I'm just like, what the hell is this? You know,
Oh man,
you
it's
know
so
Sean
crazy to me.
Stockman, Sean Stockman from Boys to Men. I see he was on a podcast. He was on Byron Scott's podcast, and he said he was driving his daughter and then about three or four of her friends, and he asked them a question. He said, when you guys have your 20-year reunion, what are you gonna play? We got really good classic music to play when we have our reunions and stuff. What are they gonna play when they 20 years from now? I mean, if it's still the world is still the way it is, 20 years from
Yep.
now they come back for their reunions. What 10-year reunion? What they gonna play? It's gonna be
It's
nothing but
true.
garbage. Nothing but garbage.
That's true. Yeah, what could they pay, right? Like, especially as time passes on, you mature, right? And then you're hearing F this, F that, do this, do that. It's crazy. It feels like I used to, even before I transitioned into singing a bit more and doing just a lot of records with melodies, I used to rap as well. And
Yeah.
it was an art back in those days. It was about bars, it was about metaphors, a message. Now I see someone like Roseanne Barr rapping. Like,
Huh?
yeah, I seen a clip that one of my friends showed me that Roseanne Barr, the actress, was
Yeah.
rapping. I'm like,
Oh
what?
man. Was it?
Um, I
How was it?
I was I thought it was trash, to be honest, but
Yeah.
it shocked me. It shocked me for somebody like her to be spitting. You know what I mean? Like rapping, and she was talking about like, oh, they say I'm a racist, and they try to cancel me, and stuff like that, right? She was rapping about. I'm like, Roseanne Barr, like that, like I. It seems like everyone and their dog is rapping now. That's the thing. Like, what's going on? So, in a way, I'm kind of glad I sort of transitioned to experimenting more with harmonies and melodies. But who knows? I might try to start rapping again. I like I like to mix things up a little bit. But it just seems
Mhm.
like everybody's rapping now. Like, no matter what. Like, when I seen that, I'm like, yeah, Taylor Swift. It's like everybody's getting into it. It just shows how popular the culture has gotten. But it just seems like it's very easy to do now and not have as much talent. It's a shame because it used to be an art form. It was a very protected culture, but now everybody's just doing it, right? Even a coworker of mine was like, "Oh, I want to make a rap song." She's this Italian girl who's kind of, nerdy, but she's like, "Oh, I want to rap about this job." I'm like, "What?" You know, it's yeah. My
So
mind
she
has
wants
just
your
been,
help.
yeah. She's like, "You want to co-write with me about rapping about our job?" I'm like, "What? Are you serious?"
Yeah, man. I don't know. I got. Hey, be careful what you put. What you spit on, man.
Yeah, that's why I was like, "No thanks." You know what I mean? It's kind of a funny thing that she even asked, right? That's one of the things. Like, when I collab with artists, I always want to collab with artists like yourself, for example. That have a great talent, good message,
Yeah,
very good vibe, right? Those are the
yeah,
kind of artists I like working with. But people who are just doing nonsense and like Weird Al Yankovic kind of music, I'm like, it's not really my thing. You know,
right.
that's one thing I haven't done is like a comedy album or anything like that. But surprisingly, you never know, it might go viral if you know what I mean? It's just the way the world we're living in now. It's just social media is taking over a lot of different things, and even AI as well too. It's like, what happened to the authenticity?
Right. The AI is taking
Yeah.
over a lot of stuff, man. At least with Weird Al Yankovic, we knew that was comedy. We knew that was clown stuff, But he the one did roaches and stuff like that. He take popular songs and make
Yeah.
them funny. Yeah. So that's what I would
Oh yeah.
classify Roseanne Barr. I'll put her in that category if she did a little rap song. A little laugh at it, it looks funny, but it's nothing that you're gonna ride around bumping in your car. No, of course not.
Exactly.
If I'm having a party,
Exactly.
yeah, I'm not gonna be bumping that. You know what I'm saying? Well, you
It's
know,
true. Oh man. Yeah, I just don't know what's been going on with our the music industry and just the industry in general. It's changed so much over the years. And all it is like publicity, numbers. It's like a numbers game now where, oh, this person had 100 million streams or, you know, 50 million streams or um, 2 million or 3 million followers. Everything is all numbers. And I don't know if I told you before, I was with this label called Concord Entertainment.
yeah,
They're with Sony Orchard. So I know
okay,
the owner there, named Charv. I call him Charv, but he calls himself Charv, the Don. That's his name. But I was talking to him about the industry, and he said it's all about numbers. He's like, we have to get your numbers up because when I was working with him, he was like, it's all about getting the numbers, get on playlist, do shows, just increase the numbers so people look at the numbers. I'm like, okay, this person's a star because of the numbers. So a lot of the times the numbers are inflated with some of these artists from what he told me. But he's like, we
yeah.
just want to get the people to look at you. So get your
People
numbers
can
up.
purchase numbers,
Yeah. People are purchasing numbers. That's what he
purchasing
does for
numbers,
the label.
purchasing followers.
Yes. That too. I've noticed that as well. I seen one guy, he had like 50,000 followers, but two comments in one of his posts. So I'm like, yeah, I'm like, something's not adding up. The math ain't mathing. You know what I mean? Like, how do you have 50,000 followers and only two people commenting on your post? So, you know what I mean? Stuff like that, I kind of can tell, like, okay, that's not authentic. He actually paid for followers that are maybe not real people, right? So it's crazy times we're living in. It's all numbers, and and even with the label I was with, Concord Entertainment, I just kind of felt like he hasn't made my music a priority. Almost just like, he's doing whatever he needs to do for himself. The guy's driving a Lamborghini. He has a mansion, and here I am, like, just trying to make ends meet, right? And it just had me thinking, like, how corrupt the industry could be. So that made me realize I just need to continue doing the path of being consistent, which I realize is so important. And if I do have money to invest, not invest it with the label, because they take all that money, put it in myself, do Instagram ads, or you know money towards making a music video, which I'm planning to do more music videos. I don't think I've done enough music videos, but that's something that I want to work towards, because people like to see an image, people like to see videos. It seems to be what's going viral nowadays too.
I want to the song we did together. Well, one of the songs, the last one we did together. The
Oh, yes,
silence.
yes, y'all. Or
Yes,
the
yes, y'all.
silence, yeah.
In 88, demolition were airborne. Partner with Jay, I was blessed and poetically born. Even as a child, ducking and dodging the wild style. Lyrical exile, building a pen to go the mile. Knee high to a duck, but ready to emerge. Pass me the mic, y'all, was Leroy D's first word. Vibing through the phases of funk and do hop, rock and roll and pop to bring your soul some hip hop. Never counting the times that my baby cradle rocked. There was a non-stop kid screaming. Shouting out to Griff, man, my brother Chico. Beauty and the Beast, release those rhymes to kill again.
Bring you down. Block out all of the noise. Silence. Only the world bring you down. Block out all of the noise. Silence. Yes, yes, y'all. Yes, yes, y'all. Let me hear you say yes, yes, y'all. Yes, yes, y'all. Let me hear you say yes, yes, y'all. Yes, yes, y'all. Let me hear you say yes, yes, y'all. Yes, yes, y'all.
I want to send that to you, and I want to do a music video on that. But I don't like myself. The guy I had on the show 2 times named Ian Jacqueline. I don't know if I told you about him. He was a world champion kickboxer back in the 90s,
Oh, wow.
and he's part of Lennox Lewis team. And
Amazing.
they were trying to make him. He's from Wisconsin. They were trying to
Oh,
make him the next John Claude Van Damme, Steven Seagal, big time action movie star.
that's impressive.
Yeah, he got a couple movies on YouTube, but because he wouldn't do the director's couch, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
They
man,
he really never made it to that status of being a major Hollywood action star.
that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
You see, that happens to a lot of these celebrities, right? They
Uh
have
huh.
to pay a price, right? And that price, it's all about your values. That's why, like, when you're well rooted, like what you said, your
Hmm.
values, and you can't be persuaded to do things for money, right? Some people worship money as a god, and they will do anything to get it. Whereas hardworking people like us, we stick to our values and just work hard, and one day we'll be blessed. Just keeping consistent, and being alive is a blessing itself. But the money is just would be a cherry on top for sure.
Yeah. Hey man, your little commercial was kind of I had to look at it a couple times and I noticed that was you were sitting on the couch with them people, right? That one commercial.
Yeah, yeah, the bingo app commercial. So Drew Barrymore was the main actress in that commercial, and I was the gem role. So it's like a mystery uh, kind of thing, like mystery murder kind of plot twist. It's for advertising for the bingo app, because she's a spokesperson for the bingo app. and it was pretty cool because that was like my first acting appearance on like TV, basically. Even though I didn't say any lines, I was just in the background as one of the suspects of who killed, Drew Barrymore. And of course, she wasn't dead. It was just kind of
Right.
for the advertisement. And then she gets up and says, "Bingo, is it a bingo?" And then they found out she's not dead, and the butler faints. So it was kind of like fun to do. Um,
Yeah.
it was long days. Like I find with acting, there's some really long days. It can go up to 12-hour days. But the
So
good
was that
thing
the
about them. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
well? Was that the full commercial you sent me? That was kind of quick. Was that the full one? The full version?
Y- Yep, that was the full version. So it was very quick. Like I think maybe 30 seconds, 40 seconds. I guess, one of those quick commercials because it aired on TV, which was pretty cool. Um, to be on something to the wide audience, right? And it's one of those things. Yeah, you have to watch it a couple of times to realize, hey, that's Griff sitting as the general with the eye patch. So it was a really good experience just to get my toes wet in acting, and you know that was like my first acting gig, which is nice, right? Because I find entertainment, like musicians and actors, it kind of goes hand in hand in a way.
Yeah.
Even when you're doing music videos, there's acting in that as well, right? So it almost
Yeah.
kind of ties into one another.
Well, so you met her then, right? So y'all was on set together.
Yeah, yeah, I actually
How
met her.
was she?
She was really nice, and it was kind of funny because when I was doing this commercial, I didn't know she was going to be the main actress. They don't tell you because if they tell you, they're worried you would tell other people, and next thing you know, there's a big lineup of people trying to see Drew Barrymore. So they kept
Yeah.
that on a hush. So when I
Yeah.
seen her, she was walking out and she seen me. I kind of was not gonna lie, I was starstruck because I first was in the expecting to see her, and then she's like, "Hi, are you in the murder mystery scene with me?" And I was like, yeah, yeah, I am." But usually I'm quick. I like to network and things like that, but I wasn't prepared. I was caught off guard, so it was just like, "Hi, hi," like, stunned. And that's usually not like me because I feel actresses, actors, musicians, no matter how famous they are, they also use the washroom like us. They put one leg at a time when they're putting their pants on. But I was just caught off guard because no one prepared me to let me know she would be there. So I kind of wish I knew because I would have tried to network with her and maybe lead into something else, right? Like another acting opportunity. But she
Hmm.
introduced herself. That's the thing I really admire about her. She introduced herself and shook my hand. I'm like, wow, what? Not many celebrities do that. Some of them are so
Yeah,
full
she
of
could have walked right
themselves.
by you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she didn't. So it just shows her character.
Um. Do you have any photos or behind the scenes photos, anything you took during that time, or what?
I think it was more. I wish I took more photos, but it's more like behind the scenes getting ready video. Um, just that kind of footage. I can definitely
Oh
send
man,
that
if you
to you.
got it, send it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Send it to my email, man.
All right. Yeah, I'll definitely
Send,
send that over to you.
send it via file mail if it's too big, man. Also, man, your portrayal of Big Daddy Goodrich.
Oh yes.
How did you get
Yeah.
that?
So what was interesting, so my agent called me. She's like, there's Vice is interested in using you to play. First it was funny. They wanted me to play Kimbo Slice, who is another Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, yeah,
I look nothing like him really. Like he was a lot bigger than I was and everything else. He was bald, but he had hair on. He kind of looked like a black Santa Claus, Kimbo Slice, right? So,
yeah.
they originally asked me for that part. I didn't get the part. I didn't think I would. And the next thing you know, I think it was like maybe 3 or 4 months later, they're like, we think Griff would play a better Gary Goodrich, and we want him. So the crazy thing is, I didn't have to audition for that part. They just thought I had the look of a younger Gary Goodrich. I guess because he is bald, and I had to shave my facial hair for that role.
I
Um,
seen him. I seen him when he first came into the UFC.
oh yeah, you did. Yeah, he was something special. Yeah, he was like no facial hair back then. I was hoping they would let me keep my beard because I had my full beard, but they cut it
Yeah,
all off so I can film that.
he used to wear the karate gi with the no shoes. He had one of the most
Yes.
vicious knockouts I've ever seen.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah, he's
gotta,
one
if
of
you
the
haven't seen
epic
it, I gotta
guys.
send it to you.
Yeah, I would love to see that.
Yeah,
You know, I
I think that was his first fight. His first or second. He was brand new, and he got the
wow.
guy on the ground, and the guy's arms is pent. Gary Goodrich got his legs around the guy, and the guy's arms is pent. And Goodrich is just giving him elbows to the face, clean shots.
Ooh.
And
Ooh.
back then it was a little more brutal.
Oh
When UFC
yeah.
started, it was a little more brutal back then. So I think he gave him at least about 4 or 5 clean shots to the
Whoa.
face before the referee stepped in.
Wow. Vicious.
The guy
Yeah.
he couldn't get his arms to protect himself. He just was laying down taking him.
Oh man.
It was
Man.
brutal, man.
Oh, I gotta see that now,
Yeah,
because I've heard Gary Goodrich is one of the classic, fighters, right? For
yeah,
UFC, the earlier stages of when UFC was starting. And,
yeah,
it's interesting. I gotta watch that. If you get a chance, or if you have Vice, if you find Dark Side of the Cage,
yeah.
um, look for the episode of Gary Goodrich. I still haven't watched the full thing, but I had seen a snippet of it, the part where they were trying to bribe him to throw the fight. It was kind of like a reenactment, so it's a documentary reenactment. So I was reenacting his parts, basically, where they're trying to persuade me to throw the fight. And that footage I sent you, I was waving the guy off, like saying, no, right? I don't throw fights. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I really want to watch it. I haven't seen it myself. I know some friends of mine have seen it. They said
Mm-hmm.
I did a good job, and they're like, "Oh, I saw you were drinking with the Japanese, making jokes like that, or like drinking with the enemy, or what's going on there, stuff like that." So it's like, oh man, I need to really see this now. Um, I haven't watched it myself. I filmed it back October of last year.
Okay. Yeah, Goodrich was a bad boy, man. Yeah,
Yeah, he
he was
was,
one of
eh?
those early stars with Dan Severn and Hoyce Gracie, Royce Gracie, and Shamrock and those guys. Tank Abbott.
Oh man,
Yeah,
Shamrock. Those are
yeah,
the classic UFC guys, the Pride,
yeah. That's
fighters.
when UFC was coming in and starting to get popular. And it was much more brutal back then. They'd jump in now when they see you defenseless, but those shots that guy took from Goodrich, man, that guy could have jumped in a
Yeah.
couple blows earlier.
Oh
Those were
yeah, he could have.
elbow shots right to the face, clean.
Wow,
It was brutal. It was brutal, man. Oh
he could have killed him.
yeah,
Yeah, and he was a big boy. He was. I was told he was like 248, two
yeah, big,
sixty.
yeah. Six something, six what? 3, 6, 4, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, probably about my height, 6'3", yeah, 4, about 200 and I think it was 60 pounds, something like that,
Yeah,
268 pounds. And
big
it's
dude.
funny, he was massive, and it's funny when they got me to play him. I was getting off being sick for 2 months. I think it was ammonia or something. It was really bad asthma.
Oh,
That I had. I don't know if it was a viral infection or whatever it was. I wake up in the middle of the night coughing, and I had to buy a puffer. Right,
mm,
it was bad. I was off work for 2 months. The like sickest. It just came out of nowhere. It's like the sickest I've been in ever. To be sick for 2 months was not like me. So I lost a lot of weight. So I was
okay.
like playing that role, wearing that robe, and I was like 190, around there, 195. I'm actually 225 is my weight right now, but then I was like 190, 195 because I lost so much weight from being sick. I wasn't eating as much, in bed a lot, right? So it's kind of funny that I had to play a big fighter guy when I lost weight. I told him, "You guys still want me? I lost a ton of weight because I was sick. Like it doesn't matter. We'll dim the lights a little bit, but it worked out in the end."
Yeah, they could have probably put you in one of them suits or put a little weight on you.
Oh yeah, they could have did that. They
Yeah,
just
could
kind
have
of threw
stuffed the
that
robe a little bit.
stuffed up the robe. Yeah, it's kind of the angles they chose. They didn't get to see the full body, but they covered me up to make sure, right? Because I was feeling insecure, man. I was like, I'm so skinny right now. And, they're like, it's okay, don't worry. The lady was putting the robe on me, like the one who did costume. She was like
Yeah.
dressing me up. And I'm like, I'm usually bigger than this. I'm not this skinny usually.
Hey, what's it like sitting in a chair when you're getting ready for a scene? I'm sure they probably doing a little makeup on you or some kind of effects. And what's that like?
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool experience. Because they can make you look similar to the person you're playing, and it's a nice transition. And the people that were doing my makeup were really nice. They were very kind, right? They were like, "Hey, man, are you comfortable? Is it too hot?" They really cater to you and make sure you're okay, and they take good care of you. And that's one of the things I like about it. Like I know sometimes people complain in acting that the days are extremely long. They're like 12-hour days. For me, I was lucky that programming like that filming, I only had to be there for 4 hours, and then they didn't need me anymore. And then everyone else had to be there for 12 hours, and it was nice because it was like, hey, he's the star of the show, right? That was like my first main role in anything, right? Where I
Yeah.
was a main character. And I was hoping that will continue to build up some more momentum. I had like a PlayStation commercial. You couldn't see me. I was in the background of that. Um,
Mm.
but I was supposed to be on CSI, but they chose somebody else, so
Oh, you're gonna be on CSI.
yeah, just kind of like the person driving away a getaway car.
Okay.
Um, a small role, but they ended up going with someone else. But it's one of those things with acting, you have to keep doing stuff and building up the resume. So it'll start off you in the background, then you getting a main role, then you getting lines, and then it's sort of like you got to build and build, continue to build the momentum, right? So that's how I look at it. It's like I guess that's like that with music too. You have to keep going, right? Keep pushing your song, keep building the momentum, and till it catches on.
Yeah. Tell me about your new joints, man.
But yeah, so the one new joint I had, which they wrote like a little bit of a write up on in the blog. It's called "You Never Know," and it's a disco funk kind of vibe to it. There's a lady on it named Ojila, who's from Nigeria, who's singing the hook. So I wrote the hook for her. She's doing the hook on it, and you never know. It's just like things happen in life, but if you stay positive and stay focused, you never know what can happen. You can change things around. So it's another song about overcoming and dealing with, you know, what life throws at you, but
Mm-hmm.
then coming up on top at the end. So it's kind of like a motivational song, but has a disco funk vibe that I was told it reminded some people of a Jackson 5 song. Just because of
Jackson
the
Five.
yeah, just because of the funk vibe to it, the backup deep vocals in the back that I added as well, and you know, just kind of like a sort of an old school Jackson 5 song from the 80s.
What about No More Tears?
Yeah, that one is a special one in the sense that, I feel like it's an anthem for mental health because we all go through mental health and we all suffer in some sort of way, right? And it's interesting because the person I got to sing on it with me is Marcus Gonda. We did a song called When the Lights on my first ever album, Facts Over Feelings. And that song was also about depression. And the reason why I chose Marcus Gonda again is I find that his voice, he sings with a lot of pain in his voice.
Mm.
Like I could have probably sang the chorus myself if I chose to, but it doesn't have that same feel of pain when Marcus Ganda does it. He's from he's a Spanish artist, and he's from Argentina, but he definitely has very strong vocals that really project that feel of pain, right? No more tears. It's like overcoming the stress and struggles, and just being feeling well and feeling good about yourself, that you're not crying anymore like you've suffered for so long, but then now it's like, okay, no more tears.
Wow. And I like floating. Floating has a nice little kind of mellow.
Or yeah, it's like disco-y kind of. Yeah, someone told me the vibe kind of sound dreamy a little bit.
There you go. That's perfect. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, it's also just kind of like floating it to like another place, not having to worry about all the issues that are going on. It's like escaping and going to a place of just getting away from chaos and stress and stressful relationships, right? That's also what it talks about a little bit as well too, that you're trying to avoid toxic relationships, so you're just floating away from it and just removing yourself from a negative situation.
All right. Yeah, we're about to close up in a few minutes. So, I want to ask you about two. You probably already know my two favorite songs in your catalog. Still, uh, what was you thinking about when you wrote Zoo?
But yeah, Zoo, yeah, that's another song I'm working on releasing actually and putting
Yes,
out there on
please,
Spotify. Definitely,
please.
I think that will probably be the next one I release after Floating, because what I'm trying to do is release a song every once a week, once to every 2 weeks. I'm trying to put out a new song that hasn't
Okay.
been released yet. I have a whole vault of songs, so that's why I'm able to do stuff like that and be like, okay, I'm just gonna put out some songs. But when I wrote Zoo, it's also kind of talks about what's going on in society. That it's just a madhouse. It's crazy. It's a zoo, right? It's just
Okay.
a lot of animals and craziness going on,
Yeah.
over the top, a lot of things happening in this society, and I kind of ma- made it like that title Zoo, because I don't think I ever did a song that had a letter Z in it before, and I think I have a song in almost every alphabet. But I thought Zoo was a good title because it describes what I've been experienced with during COVID. I think I did that song during COVID. Um, and you know what's interesting with COVID? It was stressful, but one of the best times for me because I felt more at peace. Even though we were isolated, I didn't have to deal with work. Oh, somebody got pulled over.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
anyway, sorry. Sorry. Yeah, but
Hope
I
they
didn't
make
have
it
to deal
home.
with. Yeah, hopefully they make it home. Yeah, I
Yeah.
wonder if they I wonder if they're black. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Right. 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 You never know
Yeah,
nowadays.
nowadays you never know. Yeah, I can't really see who is in that car, but I
Yeah.
think it's Canadian police are a little bit more gentle.
Okay.
They're a
Cool.
little more they're a little more polite.
Oh,
But
cool.
yeah, yeah. But Zoo is definitely a song that I was thinking of. New Edition, right? Like I was listening to New Edition, and I was trying to get like that kind of vibe with this song as well with Zoo.
What's your favorite New Editions cut?
Oh man, there's Can You Stand the Rain?
Mm.
Uh, what else? Mr. Telephone Man. That one's a good one. There's another one. Um, I think it's on the same album. Boys to Men. I think that's
Oh,
what the
the,
song is.
the
Yeah,
one
it's
Johnny Gill,
funny.
Johnny
Yeah, with
Gill led
Johnny
on.
Gill.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how
Yeah.
Boys to Men got their name actually from that
Yeah.
song.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that Johnny Gill, he really sang on that one.
I love
Um,
Marianne.
Marianne,
Hmm.
that's a good song.
Yeah.
I like that one too.
That didn't get enough attention, man. That was one of the earlier joints. Marianne was nice.
Oh yeah, that was a good joint. And there's
Yeah.
another song called "Not My Kind of Girl." What was it called?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ralph.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with Ralph. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like that song too. So Yeah, they had some bangers, man, and it was
Yeah.
unfortunate when they got ripped off when they first started. But that's part of the music industry. Every artist I know has been scammed in some capacity or ripped off in some capacity.
Your song "Can't Get Over You" always was that personal?
Yeah, yeah, it was actually always, where you're trying to move past somebody, but they're always in your mind, right? Like you think about the memories you shared with that special person,
So
and
that was personal for you.
yeah, that was definitely personal for me. Like I've been fortunate to be in really good relationships, and some of the times it doesn't pan out, whether it's different values or growing apart. That happens, right? You don't think these kind of things happen. Like some couples are fortunate enough to be married for like 40 years or together for like 50 years, but some people may be less fortunate, maybe 10, 12 years, 20 years, whatever the case is. But you always share those memories, especially if it was not a nasty breakup, right? If it was a mutual agreement in a sense where you want to go your different path, they want to go their path, but it's hard to get over somebody that's great, you know. So that's why it's like always thinking about that person.
How do you move on from that situation?
I think one of the things that helps me move on is music, for example. I think music heals the soul and keeping busy because I find when they said an idle mind is a devil's playground. I heard that somewhere. Um, all these thoughts go in your head, right? When you have an idle mind, because you're not keeping busy, you're not, whether it's going for walks, whether it's reading, whether it's hanging with people who support you, like your friends and family, or even creating music. I think those are like things that really help you to overcome situations, or forget about somebody because you're keeping your mind occupied and you don't have time to kind of sit and think about things as much in terms of, oh, what would have happened if we were together. Because I find that most of the time I've been stressed, it's been me alone, nobody around, like no family, just me and myself alone, and not doing anything, not like watching TV or, maybe scrolling on Instagram or, you know what I mean? It's just mindless activities. And then thoughts start coming into your head. Where
Yeah.
I find when you keep busy, like whether it's motivational books or writing a song, I think that's for musicians is probably the best therapy is creating music when you're in pain, right? And it heals your soul because music will never disappoint, right? It's always going to be there for decades and decades. We hear songs from the 60s still, right? Or even the 50s, right? Like music is one of those things that doesn't die. And I feel like that's one way to heal the soul too.
So yeah,
Yes, bro.
I will be talking to you, man. Like I will. I'm going to look over these two songs and let you know which one. But in the next week or two, man, we'll just go ahead and get it done, and I'll send whatever I need to send, man, and we'll get TJ on it, man. And you know what I'm saying?
Nice. I'm looking forward to that, bro. Thank you. And yeah, man, keep crushing it, man. We're going to come out this
You
summer with
keep
some
crushing as
hits.
well. You keep crushing as
Thanks,
well,
brother.
bro. All right
I
now.
appreciate you, bro.
All right, much love,
All
bro.
right, bro. Much love, brother. Appreciate you. Take care.
All right, appreciate you as well.